There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people.
What's up, guys? It's Quinn.
It's Alex.
It's Iconic Comic. We're back and we're ready to review Avengers Infinity War. This is going to be a non-spoiler review. That means we're not going to give any plot points away. We're just going to go over things we liked, maybe some of the things we didn't like so much, a score, and whether or not you should go see this movie. But before we get into that, make sure you guys head over to tblocks.com. They got a lot of really cool shirts over there, geek t-shirts, and you can use our code ICONICTBX, and you're going to save 10% off over there. Now, this movie...
It's so much. Like, we saw it on Thursday, and I went to work the next day, and people would just make eye contact with me, and they just raise the eyebrows, like... and then I just closed my eyes and... like that. But it's so much. I mean, like, the first time I saw it, it was definitely just my inner nerd just
couldn't
having
handle
fun. It couldn't wrap my nerd around it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's been building up for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw it again today, and well, you've seen it like 10 times, whatever.
I've seen it 4 times.
So... But the next go-around for me, because I know, and this is probably for you and you guys at home too, you guys, we all, as Marvel fans, we just go in and we're kind of blinded by Marvel a little bit. Just because brand new movie, we see it, and it's automatically the best thing on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that about myself. That's why I don't like to do reviews directly after the movie. So we saw it again, and I still feel the same way.
I do too.
I feel the same way.
So this movie's about like 2 hours and 40 minutes. This sucker moves. There is almost zero dead time in this movie. Right off the bat, like, it's all right. This is what we're doing. Okay, we're in. Oh my God, what's going on? And that's basically how it is for the whole movie. There's so many moments in this movie where it's like, what? What?
Now, here, to play off of that, what Marvel does a good job of is reeling people in. You said something like that, but with the beginning, we're kind of used to, kind of a slow build in the beginning of the movie to introduce, but this one was full speed ahead. You're in the seat, and when the title card ends, you're on the edge of your seat already.
Yeah.
Which that is a real shock for the Marvel fans, but it's also something easier for the non-Marvel fans to get engrossed in really fast.
And we don't need an hour of build-up. You know why? Because we have 18 movies before that leading up to this. This is, now, people are going to see this movie who haven't seen all 18. But this is a movie for those who have seen all 18. This is meant for those people.
This is the service, like the fan service.
But like not
movie.
like gratuitous fan service or
anything.
No.
No. That's the wrong word.
Now, there are a ton of characters in this movie.
There's a lot.
Some get more to do than others. Now, the Russos have talked about this. If you thought there were some characters that didn't get to do as much in this movie, they're most likely going to get to do more in the second movie, so yeah. Next year, and that makes sense. When you have 40 freaking superheroes in a movie, some are going to get more than others, but it still felt so balanced, because whenever there's a point in the movie where I'm going like, man, I'm loving what I'm saying. What's going on with Thor? Oh, okay, well there he is. Like, it just, whenever you think like, well, what's going on in this place? Boom, they shift. It's like the shifting in this movie is very well done.
I think they timed it perfectly. And to play off of that, when I watch these movies and I try to come up with things that other people wouldn't like if someone would try to argue, oh, well, so-and-so got too much screen time, or so-and-so didn't get enough screen time. I wanted to see more of this. I wanted to see more of that. this movie, to do it justice and to do it right, they had to have a balance.
Mm-hmm.
You had to come over here, and then you were over here, and this movie, it's not a spoiler, this movie is an arms race. And with that type of movie, you kind of have to have that balance. And I think what you said was right. They did a great job with that.
And it's an arms race for the Infinity Stones. We knew that going in, and you can't talk about that. We can't talk anymore without talking about Thanos. Thanos is hands down the best MCU villain that we've ever had.
Go ahead and tell them what you said right before we started recording.
It may be an unpopular opinion, but I don't care. It's my opinion. It's so you can have a different one. He is my favorite comic book movie villain of all time. The way Josh Brolin played him, he is not. If you were worried that Thanos was just going to be like a brute, like juggernaut, where he's just all about killing and destruction or whatever, that's he. At times, yes, he is, but Brolin brings these nuances to him and emotion to him at times, and it's just not expected when we've heard about Thanos up to this point, like, oh, he's the Mad Titan, he's coming to do some business and wreck some shop, and then you get these moments where it's like, like almost like a Killmonger or a Vulture kind of moment. You know what I mean?
A little bit.
Yeah, and we'll go into super details on that later in the spoiler review, and also he looked fantastic. The CGI was amazing, and it was motion capture too. So Brolin was actually there, like doing the stuff, and they had like the camera on his face so they could catch all the facial expressions. It looked so good. Like I believed every time he was standing next to somebody else, like who was like a real actor. I was like, that looks real. Like I buy that. Like that he's there.
It was really good. Also, when you have movies that bring so many characters, sometimes some characterization can be lost in translation from all these movies. Not this time.
No.
Every character was true to their character, and they even evolved in this movie.
Especially the Guardians of the Galaxy. They, like, never would I in my wildest dreams would have imagined how natural of a transition it would have felt to put them in an Avengers movie. It felt so natural, and I accepted it so fast. It was just like, all right, here we go. Boom, they're in this movie.
Well, we didn't have to, like... I forgot what I was saying because I agree with you. What you just said was what I was about to say. It really felt like they belonged together.
Yes. The performances are just... There's not a bad performance in this movie. Like, everybody kills it. And like I said, there's a balance. Some people get a little more, like, dialogue than other people in this movie, and the people who didn't will get more in the next movie. But even with, say, somebody who got a little dialogue or somebody who got a lot of dialogue in this movie, everybody killed it.
It felt like it served a purpose.
Standouts, obviously, Robert Downey Jr. He's like, it's just like tying his shoes at this point, playing this character. It's so natural. He is Tony Stark, and he brings it. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange was fantastic. His interplay with those guys was great. Tom Holland, this might be my favorite time that he's been in the universe so far. So Civil War, Homecoming, and this might be my favorite one. Mm-hmm. I basically just keep naming off names in this movie.
They were all fantastic. Just to cut this video down like 10 minutes. Let's talk about the music.
Dude,
the music was fantastic. Like, you knew, like, what was going on just by the music. If you've watched Marvel like we have, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have, when the music changes,
there's those cues.
You know what's going to happen. Either a hero's about to show up, or Thanos is about to show up.
And, like, the serious music was like super like serious music. Like, you're just like, ooh. And like they got Alan Silvestri back, and there's points in the movie where, and I've always talked about, I would like to hear a lot of cues and themes from maybe the Solo movies. We get that, especially with Wakanda. When we go, obviously we go to Wakanda. You've seen it in the trailers. You get that Wakandan theme from that first Black Panther, like dun 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 dun. Like and it puts you immediately there, and you're like, all right, here I am.
Yep. There's just so much to say about this movie without going into spoilers. Like I really want to go into spoilers.
I do too.
Because there's just so in the scenery, the planets, they were fantastic because we know them already.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this movie we knew what was going to happen, but we kind of didn't know how it was going to happen.
Like, I feel like we vaguely called a few things, but that's not like, that doesn't change the fact that there are a ton of surprises in this movie. That if you can go into this movie like completely clean with no spoilers, you will be so happy like that you did, because there are so many points in this movie where you're going to be like just jaw on the floor, like I don't know what I'm watching and I can't believe it's in a Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
I will say there are points of this movie that are like, and that's the other thing, tone. They balanced and shifted tone so well in this movie, where it is hysterically funny at one point, and then in another point, it's a freaking like a horror movie. Like there's super dark and scary parts of this movie where you're just like, I can't believe I'm watching a movie that's made by Disney. And what I'll kind of closing thoughts. This was a very ballsy movie.
Yeah, I disagree with you at how funny it actually was, because I don't think being super duper funny and then super duper dark would be very good. I feel like the jokes kind of let us have a short breathe, just like a short breath, and then it went right back to serious.
That's what I mean.
But I didn't think it was hysterical. Like, if it was too funny, it would have took me out of the movie. But it didn't. It didn't. There is one part, and we'll talk about it in spoilers. One particular joke or scene was really funny, but it was in a scene where there wasn't a whole lot of action. It was one of those points where, we got to take a breath, we got to enjoy the humor, and then we were right back in it. That's my opinion on the humor in this movie. It's still humor. It's still Marvel-esque humor. I thought they did it very well. I'm just glad they didn't go super, super funny.
No, I'm like, that's what I meant. Like, humor is,
it's subjective.
It's subjective. So, like, a joke I may find hysterical, you may not find hysterical. Like, and all the jokes in this movie make sense based on the people who are saying them. Like, you don't have Thanos making a ton of jokes in this movie. You know what I mean? Like, the people, like the Guardians, I would say, are the majority of the humor. They bring the majority, and obviously Spider-Man is funny. But like you don't see, the more serious characters acting out of character.
And I do want to say really quick, I wasn't expecting to laugh a lot in this movie anyway. So the fact that they actually did make me laugh at some points was good. Yeah. I was not expecting to, laugh for an extended period of time.
No, but they did it very well. It was balanced. I think that's the key word of this whole movie, is it was balanced very beautifully. And I think we have to talk about spoilers. So we'll score this thing.
Score this thing on 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 10.
Like
it easy.
It's easy for me because this is, and I've seen it 4 times, and I've said it in every Marvel review that we've done. I don't like to rank that this close to the movie coming out, but this is my favorite Marvel movie because it takes a ton of risks.
Yep.
All the risks pay off. It's unexpected at times. It's horrific at times. It's funny at times. And basically, anything in your head that you're like, man, wouldn't it be cool if this happened? It happens in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my closing thought.
Not a whole lot of words. I mean, I know we just said a lot of words, but, you know, I agree. I mean, everything that we wanted from this movie, we got, and then some.
Mm-hmm.
So, 10 and a 10 over here.
I mean, there's nothing else to say.
Let's close this out so we can spoil the movie.
Yeah, all right. So we're going to do a spoiler talk video, so you can find that probably next to this video somewhere over on this side of the video. But make sure you guys like,
comment,
share,
and subscribe.
And make sure you go see Infinity War. This movie's making a ton of money. I think right now it's projected 250-something million, which would make it the highest grossing opening weekend of all time. Insanity. Never thought it would happen. It's crazy.
Make sure you guys stay tuned.
Stay iconic.
And cue music.
Holy grail.